What's up, everybody? It's your boy Vinyl Crusader here. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Everyday Live Music and Photography, EMP. And today I'm here to talk about the Tribe Called Quest Midnight Marauders album, which is probably, in my opinion, one of the top 3 hip-hop albums that I ever made. I know a lot of people want to debate me on that, but that's just my opinion. Uh, you know about this album. This album came out, I think, around the same year as '93, the same year as Wu-Tang Clan's Enter the 36 Chambers, and I think you know, and Wu-Tang, that album definitely changed the game. But with this Midnight Marauders album, I think is a a far more superior album than Wu-Tang's 36 Chamber, but that's for another segment. But this album here, if you're not familiar with Tribe Called Quest, they had 2 albums prior to this album. People's Distinctive Travels and Low End Theory. Now I think with Tribe's first album, which was a classic album, it drew 5 mics in the source, had classics like Can We Kick It and Benita Apple Boom. But I really felt like that album was more like a Q-Tip featuring a Tribe Called Quest album. It really, to me, was more like a solo project for Q-Tip. And though it was very, very well put together, very dope album, it didn't feel like it was a Tribe Called Quest album. It felt like it was a Q-Tip's album, in my opinion. Now, the second album, Low End Theory, which was a brilliant album, classic album, 5 mics in the source, one of Tribe's best albums, to me. And I think with that album, those guys started to gel more. The production from Q-Tip got even more crazier, got even more sharper, and it was Five Dog's coming out party. And where Five Dog was, basically, introduced to the world, and we all took notice, and with that, Tribe Called Quest was making a stamp with the beats and with the rhymes, and in my opinion, as quiet as it's kept, I think Five Dog kind of outshined Q-Tip on the lyrical tip on that Low End Theory album. Then, which leads me to Midnight Marauders. As you can see, Q-Tip's, Tribe Called Quest token artistry on here. And the album cover is just dope with itself, with different artists in there, from Jungle Brothers to Too Short to Chuck D to the Far Side. The album just was totally insane, and and it starts out with Q-Tip just becoming a master with the production. And and the thing about Q-Tip is that I think he's a very underrated producer, and hardly's ever mentioned when it comes to producers in hip hop. People want to talk about Primo, Dre, which they're very good, but I think Q-Tip definitely needs to be thrown in there. And with this album, I think that this album, Tribe Called Quest, was at its peak, and they just seemed to just gel so well together. They hit a home run with People's Distinctive Travel. They hit a home run, with Low End Theory. But this album, to me, is like a grand slam. I mean, they just clicked so much as a group, and Q-Tip grew as a producer, as a lyricist, and and Five Dog was on point with the lyrics, and the samples that Q-Tip used from Minnie Riperton for lyrics to go, from Bill Cosby for We Can Get Down. It was just insane. From Busta Rhymes having a cameo on there, to Large Professor, the Extra P. I mean, the album, it's just so good. And I just wanted to, it's been a long time since this album came out, you know, and I want to say more than 20 years since this came out, but I just wanted to, you know, bring it to light again. If you haven't heard it, you know, shame on you. Definitely go get it, cop it, whether, you know, vinyl, CD, iTunes, and if you do have it, you know, open it up again and take another listen to it and just really appreciate what Tribe Called Quest meant to hip hop, what they meant to, what Q-Tip meant to production, and just what Tribe Called Quest meant to everybody from New Yorkers to the West Coast to the South. You know, Tribe Called Quest was that universal group. And this album, Midnight Marauders, was definitely a game changer. So on that note, I'm going to leave here. It'd be only right to leave here with some tunes from this album. And we're going to sign off with lyrics to go. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe to Everyday Life Music and Photography.